Hey team, hope everybody's doing well. Thought I'd just do a quick update video on what I got done last month. So to kick things off with, for the game Nevermind the Billhooks, I've got a block of 12 Burgundian spearmen. These are Perry miniatures. Now I've done some reading up in the Burgundians since I assembled these and found out that the Burgundian ordinance, that's a different thing, actually required each of the individuals to carry a buckler as well, so I haven't put any bucklers on these guys. Probably not so important as I'm using them for mercenaries for Nevermind the Billhooks, but if I want to include these guys in a Burgundian force, they'd be better on, so I think I'll just add those later. Regardless, block of 12 done. Additionally, for billhooks, I've got some men-at-arms. For the Yorkists, I believe the flag is Richard III. If not, I'm sure somebody will correct me. Again, these are Perry miniatures. And to oppose them, I've got another 24 men-at-arms, once again Perry miniatures, and that flag is, I think, for Jasper Tudor. Again, I'm sure someone will correct me if I'm wrong. Flags came from Pete's Flags on eBay, so really, really nice. I'm starting to get a bit of an understanding that having bold, eye-catching flags detracts from, a multitude of sins when you're painting miniatures. So, yeah, I'm really happy with these flags. Can't say enough nice things about them. So speaking of Burgundian Wars and how I get sidetracked by other projects, I was thinking that, if I did a lot of Burgundian mercenaries for War of the Roses, they could then carry over to the Burgundian Wars, and then I could take the Swiss from that. And then roll them into an Italian Wars project. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is how scope creep happens in miniatures collecting. So we have the start of a Swiss force, which is, realistically going to end up being for Italian Wars. Once again, just to stick with the current theme, these were all Perry miniatures. Multi-based for larger games. Now, Perry miniatures do some metal commands, 2 sets for the Swiss, and you'll see this gentleman here is a Hornblower from the province of Uri. Again, banner from Pete's Flags for Uri, so it's a little bit leading with regard to, I guess, which provinces are done in which order. What I'd like to do is get the, I think it was the 5 main provinces that originally were involved at the start of the Burgundian War. So that was Uri, Bern, Schweiz, Zug, and I apologise, I can't remember the other one. It's been about 1.5 years since I read that book. Regardless, I'm doing larger bases for larger scale games, obviously, so my intent is to do several large, well, not large, several pike blocks in this fashion, and then for each canton I can just attach additional files out to make larger pike blocks, if that makes sense. So this is just the start. So the next province I've got assembled and ready to go is, I think it was Bern, and I've got some skirmishes and things ready to go, so I'll have to pick a province for them as well. From the limited reading I have done, my understanding is during the Burgundian Wars the Swiss formed each battle as one supermassive pike block, and then had skirmishes around to protect it. So essentially, if you think of it on a a wargaming table that will be 3 large blocks of pike with a whole bunch of crossbow skirmishers is pretty much how it would look. Firearms for the later periods, and then when they started operating as mercenaries for other forces, that's obviously going to change dependent on the troops available to the commander in that particular force. So if I push these further back, I can't remember who it was in the Plastic Crack podcast, but they said carts and things, you should, look at including them just for gaming table scenics. And I like the idea of having them as objective markers and things. So the last time I did an order to Perry, I got a couple of carts. So this is their standard water cart from the War of the Roses range, water or wine cart, either or. I guess I'm calling it a water cart because that's what's used in sharp practice. So this one will probably get sort of press ganged in anything up to the Napoleonic era, just for the fact I might need a wine cart or a water cart for additional resources in sharp practice skirmish games. And because none of us can stick to a particular period, again, Perry Miniatures, which I think everything has been Perry Miniatures this month with Pete's flags, so I'm nothing if not consistent apparently. Dismounted ACW Union Cavalry. These were great fun. I kept catching myself with a smile on my face as I was painting them. These are really, really nice miniatures. Can't say enough positive things about them. Painted up really quickly, and I can't wait to get them on the gaming table pretty much. So that's the March progress. For April, you can see in the background I've got some Dark Elves that have just been taking way too long, so I've got to get those finished. That's still part of my March work. But if we just pan the camera around, apologies in advance for any motion sickness. We've got a couple of bombards or field pieces for the War of the Roses or Burgundian Wars. I'll be doing the crew up as fairly nondescript so they can just be slotted in anywhere they need to. A couple of boxes of dismounted Union Cavalry to oppose the Confederate ones there. Looking at starting to play Chain of Command. I've got a game in a week, so I've got to get, this is Deutsche Afrika Korps force, because my mate's got some Kiwis he wants to run, so I just need someone for them to shoot at. You'll see in the background, quickly throwing some terrain together too. And if I pan over to the side, that's going to be the main April project. I want to get this biking force done and just basically packed away because it's taking up a lot of space. So you can probably see my gaming table has become a paint bench at the moment, and it's not ideal. I want to get things consolidated and packed down. Once that's out of the way, that's, I think, the last of the large projects I've got sitting. I've got a lot of medium projects, but I'm just going to chip away and work through it. I've got a bit of a plan for that, but I'll go over that later on. So that's a quick update. I've been watching everybody else's videos while I'm painting, which is why I've been getting so much done, so thank you for posting. It's been really, really good seeing everybody else's content, all the live streams and the chat shows and things. Really, really good. I'm having trouble keeping it up with all, to be honest, so if I don't comment, apologies. But I hope everybody's doing well. Thanks so much for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.